Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner Football Fans podcast. This is our second podcast from our Champ U Fan Feast that we had this past weekend. And today we feature two great Sooner fans, Cody Holzhammer and Tattoo Baker. You know these two from their Twitter accounts. Holzhammer, of course, for his Baker tattoo, and Tattoo Baker from all of his edits. Rob and I have gotten to know these two young men over the last several months and have a lot of admiration for them. First, for their military service to their country, and second, for the love of their Sooners. So sit back and enjoy as we talk Sooner football with Holzhammer and Tattoo. And remember, folks, Sooner Football Fans is not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma, but we do have eligibility left. Booma! Hey, Sooner Football fans. You got Terry and Rob here. Boomer up.
Boomer Terry.
And this is our second podcast from the, what are we calling this? Champ U Fan Feast, where we had, group of OU fans who've been on the podcast come in, and we still got a group here, and we still got a lot more to go. But on with us right now are two guys everybody knows. First off, the guy with the Baker tattoo, Cody Holzhammer. Boomer Cody.
Boomer Terry.
And then we also got Tattoo Baker.
Boomer Terry.
Boomer, man. How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Have you guys got plenty to eat, plenty to drink, or?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to start drinking water for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I've already chugged 3 waters because I was about 5 deep before, and then had 3 more when I came here because I was a little nervous because I was meeting my dad.
So we had the ladies on first. We got you guys on. Let's talk a little bit of Sooner football. Games. Everybody's been talking about it. What I should have done was just hang microphones in here and just record everybody talking all night long because we've had some great conversations.
There were some pretty good conversations earlier. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, C. Mills was doing about a poll a minute, asking everybody who's their favorite Sooner, who's their favorite rival, who's going to be the biggest challenge to OU. So I felt like I was on Twitter, but in real life.
So, what game? Okay, let's do just like we did a while ago. What games concern you guys this year of the non-conference?
For me, it's always Texas every year, no matter what. It's always Texas. West Virginia at the end of the year, if they have a bad season, which I don't think they will be their national championship. So they're scary because if we go undefeated, they're going to want to kill us. But really, it's just Texas and West Virginia right now for me.
Mine's definitely going to be FAU because FAU has nothing to lose, and then you also have Lane Kiffin that would love to wreck OU season and boost the FAU, and then
and boost his own.
Oh yeah, his own Twitter account. So FAU, and then it's always Texas because you never know what Texas could pull out. How they beat us with Colt's brother that one year. Nobody saw that. So I would say Texas and FAU.
All right, well, Cody, got a question for you on the West Virginia thing. I don't understand why everybody's all worried about West Virginia. They have said for the last 5 years, West Virginia, they're going to be in it, and they never have. What makes this year any different than every other year?
Honestly, I tweet about that a lot. I don't really follow the hype with West Virginia. I just thing about them is we're going into Morgantown, which we've done that before, but we also play them they didn't have Will Greer. He's trying to win the Heisman this year. He's got some great wide receivers. I don't know about their defense too much. I just think that no matter how their season goes, they're going to want to knock us off. They want to be the man in the Big 12. That's just how I feel. So they worry me, but I think we'll get the job done.
Yeah. Rob, you got any input on that one?
Well, how long have they been in the Big 12 now? And
6.
how many years have they beat us? That's right. The answer is 0, and it's going to be 0 again this year.
Well, my whole deal is just that. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I see it. But last year they were supposed to, compete with Oklahoma for the title. The year before that, it seems like they were supposed to compete, and it just seems like they choke it up every year when it comes. And they not only do they lose to Oklahoma, but they lose to Kansas State. They just don't seem to get it done. But I'm not ready to jump on the West Virginia bandwagon yet. Now, if they're undefeated when we play them, that'll be a whole different story, and it'll be a fun game to watch. But I just until what's the coach's name there? Holgerson. Yeah. Until he figures it out, and he's the most neurotic-looking coach out there. I'm not concerned with him.
I think if he switches to a different energy drink, I think the one that he's drinking right now is not vibing with him midseason because he has a crash at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think 2 years before they won 10 games, lost their bowl game, lost to OU. Last year, granted that it really does, it hinders the season when Wilger goes out and breaks his finger against Texas, but they don't even show up against their bowl opponent. I just think this year again they too much pressure, and with the season they slot of games that they have with going to NC State and then having Tennessee, those are big dudes. And NC State's got some big dudes, and it doesn't matter. SEC's got big dudes, and I think grinding them up, and with and I want to say I heard that they have a lack of scholarships. It's not the 85. I think if with that right there, we'll just by the time that they get to Oklahoma, it would be too late.
Just be beat up. Hope so. Now, as far as Texas too, I mean that game, God, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think we were 0-5 or 0-3 when we played them in Blake's year and ended up beating them. It doesn't matter, and they were ranked number 1 or 2 that year. The Texas game, it doesn't matter who's ranked where. That one's going to be just a nut house.
That was the old Bill Devine days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He was coach then.
Yeah. But what about non-conference games? Which one?
FAU is definitely going to be a test. Their offense is basically Lincoln Riley's offense. It's not as good as Lincoln Riley. Nobody will be.
Yeah.
But their defense is what I think their struggle is going to be. They're going to be very hungry to beat us, but they're not going to have the talent or the size to stop Anderson, or not going to be fast enough to stop Brown. It's just not going to happen. We're going to win the game. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but we'll take away in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the upgrade that OU has on the offensive line, and I wouldn't say that losing Orlando Brown is an upgrade, but I think the guy we have in there now, Cody Ford. Is it Cody Ford?
I think so.
Yeah, Cody Ford. Dude's hungry. He wants to show out this year. And then also Creed. Creed Humphreys is a beast, and he's challenging for spots. So I think with an offensive line that wants to prove themselves, a receiving core that wants to prove themselves, and damn sure that Kyler wants to prove himself to make that he's an elite quarterback, and it's not just baseball, that they'll show out.
Yep, I agree with that. Now, you brought up Kyler. Okay, is he the quarterback?
He's definitely the quarterback in my eyes. A lot of people don't like us saying that on Twitter right now because Kendall, he obviously loves his team. He loves playing for Oklahoma. He's obviously very talented. We saw it at the spring game. But when you have the talent that Kyler does, nobody's going to get in your way. You're gonna start, and you're gonna, barring injury, please God don't let that happen. But he will be. I think he'll be the starter for sure.
With the summer being that it is, and then he's finally here, he's not playing baseball, I think Kyler's going to win the job, being a junior, practically a senior, with him going to baseball next year. But I think he's just too dynamic of a player to not. It'd be like putting Johnny Manziel, on the bench. He's just too dynamic of a player.
Good point.
Yeah. What about Mordecai? Apparently, he's been impressing since I guess he was there over the summer. And I saw a deal today where they were just talking. Lincoln was just raving about him. So does he compete or?
I saw the same thing you did, and I haven't heard anything about him from anybody around Oklahoma until that tweet. But I think Lincoln wouldn't have went and got him if he didn't think he could play. But I don't think he touches the field very much this year unless it's like garbage time. But I think he has a shot maybe to start next year. If say Kendall transfers or if he's not the guy next year, Mordecai could play next year and let Rattler sit around and learn. But you never know.
Yeah.
Well, we've been saying for a long time that anybody that supplants Kyler as the starter is going to have to be hands down better. And I think they're all grouped up there, really relatively close. So I don't think anybody's any hands down better than Kyler, which means Tyler's going to have the job.
Yeah. Tattoo, what do you think?
When I was in Dallas, I got to watch Mordecai play in the state finals. Even though he lost, they definitely were coming back, and he was definitely slinging it to the point of I thought this kid was for real. Maybe he's got something to prove. I wouldn't say that he's not humble because I've talked to his uncle a few times, but I think it's open season next year just because you have Spencer Rattler coming in, and I really think it'll be a lot of mixed emotions coming off 18 season. Really depends on how good OU does because there's going to be a supporting cast that's going to be a different supporting cast no matter what. You're going to have a third-year CeeDee Lamb, a third-year Marquise Brown. You're going to have a second full year of the tight end.
Calcaterra.
Yeah, Calcaterra. And then you're going to have the new kid coming in.
Stogner? Austin Stogner?
Yeah, Austin Stogner. So with that lineup, it's really who pick your poison.
Yeah.
So this is what I think. If we lose a game in the Big 12, it's going to be scheme-based because nobody can match us, I don't think, talent-wise, maybe with the exception of Texas. But if we lose a game to anybody in the Big 12, it's because we didn't scheme right, we didn't plan right. It ain't going to be because they just beat us because they're better than us. They got better players than us. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that because there's nobody, I don't think, right now in the Big 12 talent-wise. And, everybody's concern is defense, with the Sooners. It's, we've got 5 years now of, I'm not going to say pathetic, but, I've said it before. We were, one drive away from losing 4 games last year. Baylor, Oklahoma State, Kansas State. Who was the other one we almost got beat by?
Tulane?
Texas.
Oh.
Texas. Texas, they held us under 30 points. So that, I think, is what's going to be the telltale. I don't care. You could put me and Rob at quarterback with the talent we got. I'm just telling you, those guys are going to be amazing. The defense, unless we are vastly improved, and I'm talking from 67 to 25 improved, we're going to do the same thing we did last year.
I'm not very good with names, but I know 2 defensive linemen got hurt in the offseason, and then Chance Sylvie, the safety, is hurt. But even with that, I think we're so stacked in the defensive line, period. We're not going to have a problem. And then we have Buki back there at safety now. I didn't really see that coming, but now having him back there and with possibly Stephen Parker, and then we've got Barnes and Motley on the corner. Norwood. I think we're going to have a really good season on defense, and we really need it. Mike really needs it. It's just during the spring game, I was in a really bad mood because I saw Trey Sermon go down really early. I was mad, but the defense played awesome. I can't wait.
Well, and you notice what happened when Sermon went down. When he went off the field, you saw who went with him. Anderson walked off the field.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when they went, they had him over on the side. And he walked off the field, but Anderson was walking with. They sent them both to the locker room after Sermon got hurt.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, they was like, yep, y'all both done. Go. There's no reason for y'all to be here. But the other thing I'm interested in is the quarterback situation after this year, because we just offered. I am not even going to attempt the dude's name.
Oh yeah, the guy from Mater Day in California. Yeah, Mater Day.
We just offered another guy. They just had another quarterback in from Texas yesterday for 2020. We got Spencer in. Where are we going to put these guys at? Are they all going to commit? Or are they all going to?
There's a 5-star. I don't know. Thompson, I guess it is the number 7. His number's 7. I'm really bad with names. He was at the barbecue today. Then we offered the guy from Mater Day, and I've seen that kid. There's a show called what is it? It's about the best quarterbacks in the nation in high school. I can't remember what it's called.
Elite 10 or Elite?
Yeah. He was on there, and he came in and took the best quarterback in the nation's job as like a freshman or a sophomore in high school. So he's no joke. I'm glad we offered him. But like you said, like we've got Rattler coming in with these 5-star, 4-star wide receivers. Like they just won the 7-on-7.
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do with these quarterbacks? But honestly, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts that they just keep lining up as well. The receivers, that's one thing, because the receivers, you can always rotate receivers in and just keep gunning at people. But quarterbacks, I mean, it's like every 4- and 5-star quarterback is lining up at Oklahoma right now, which is nuts.
Well, Texas is rotating quarterbacks. Erlinger and
Ellinger and what's the other number 7? I can't remember.
No
his name.
Chance? Is that his name? No Chance?
something like that.
No, it's some, I think, isn't it?
Come on, Terry.
Some.
He's not that great.
I don't know who it is. I don't pay attention
They're
to
putting the
Texas.
concussions on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
He's one concussion away from going to the hospital.
No, but
Terry, to say what to comment on what you were saying earlier about defense, I think, and I kind of compare this to when Baker got his butt handed to him after he grabbed his crotch in Kansas. That they've been hearing it, for an off season. That they got scored, 55 points on them in the Rose Bowl, and then like how they can't stop anybody. It's really a bend or break defense where they're mostly breaking. I think that right there, and then with Bookie, I think with his elite skill level and then his high football IQ, he's going to have the guys ready. And I think that he was the missing piece of any team. That if you have him, he's going to have everybody locked in. Because you don't want to. Because you always have that player that you don't want to let that guy down. And I think that Bookie's going to be that guy.
yeah, I think he's going to be the leader on the defensive side. But that that's what the coaches have been preaching, or Lincoln's been preaching since Big 12 Media Day, is they've got to find leadership, because they got to replace. Arguably probably the best leader they've had there in 20, 30 years with Baker. So who on the offensive side, nobody's going to match that. So what are they going to do? What are they looking for as far as leaders, do you think? Or who do you think they're looking to step up to be leaders?
I think Kenneth Murray has to step up as a leader. Last year, or the offseason, he got a lot of hate, and I didn't support that at all. You put a true freshman middle linebacker in there in the Rose Bowl, and you expect him to just blow the game up. He did the best he could. He went out there and I think everyone left it all on the field. But I think Murray and Caleb Kelly, Parnell Motley, I think they got to step up. But besides that, I'm not sure. Gallimore maybe.
I think captains-wise, it may be an offensive lineman like Cody Ford.
Yeah.
Or CeeDee Lamb. Definitely, I think he could do one, be a leader. But also, too, it may be a silent leader of Murray just stepping up as a quarterback and doing that. But I think he also has a good support because Kendall Austin is definitely going to have his back, because I don't think it's as ugly as people think.
No. Rob?
Well, I mean, I agree with all that. I just feel like the team runs better when the leader steps up as the quarterback. It just seems like it flows better. It just runs better. I really would like Kyler. I don't know if that's his nature. I don't know if that's who he is, but it might go a long way if that's who Austin is, or if that's who the other guy. If they're stand-up leaders, that might go a long way for them.
Yeah, I agree with that because I mean, if Kendall steps in and not only, obviously, and everybody knows this, he's not the athlete as Kyler, but if he steps in and people fall behind him, that's a whole different story, And I think we as Sooner fans we're two reasons why we think he's going to be the quarterback. One is, okay, he signed a, buttload of money contract, and in that contract they allow him to play, for baseball they allow him to play football. But I think Sooner fans are enamored by the type of quarterback he's going to be. We want it. Oklahoma fans want that running quarterback. They want the Jamel Holloway type, the Charles Thompson. That's what they want. And or the old guys. That we sit here and the fans sit back and they go, well, yeah, that's the type of quarterback we need. And let's face it, we haven't had that since pretty much Jamel. Okay, but it's still, I think people are enamored by what Lincoln, I know I am. I want to see what Lincoln's going to throw together having Kyler out there. It's going to be freaking nuts.
I saw that play just the other day, the video that I posted out there, and I just remembered, when it happened in the game, but the Ohio State where he handed off to Sermon.
The zone read option?
Yeah, handed off to Sermon, and then Sermon pitched it back to Kyler. That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean that's what I'm looking forward to, and especially with the quarterbacks coming, there is going to be a completely different wrinkle in this offense with somebody like that. You're going to have to, a defense is going to have to stay at home for the zone read, the quarterback around the one side. Okay, well we're going to go ahead and give it to the now, and if you watch that play, Sermon did it perfect. He waited for that corner to commit. And as soon as that corner committed, he flipped it out there to Kyler. And it's like, oh, my God.
That just doesn't seem fair, does it? That's the way we like it, though, right?
Yeah.
I have to follow up on what Rob said with the quarterback thing. I didn't even really think about that. Like, Kyler, when you look at Kyler and the way he carries himself, he doesn't seem like the Baker type at all. Like, he gets out there and gets the team hyped up. Kendall, on the other hand, he kind of does seem like the Baker type in my eyes. Like, he has nothing to lose. He knows what kind of talent he's going up against in the quarterback battle.
Yeah.
And he's still not backing down. So, I mean, if Kendall brings that spark, he might be the starter. I mean, the quarterback's very important to the defense as well as the offense.
Right. So. And, that's the other thing. If he is the starter, does Kyler, go play baseball? I mean, immediately.
I hope not.
Yeah. But you would kind of think, okay, well, I'm sticking around to play football. Now I'm not the starter. I got, a whole bunch of money in my back pocket.
I hope it doesn't get as ugly as Alabama. God, that's such a black eye for the program if you have I don't want to say just drama out in the media like that, but I think if Kyler goes out and shows out in the first 4 games and we go into Texas undefeated, I think that it ain't going to matter.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to go around, like with him being QB1, somebody getting a tattoo of Kyler, I will take over that account, and then we should have a pretty good season.
Yeah, and I think everybody agrees it's his to lose. It's he's the guy, and unless there's no leadership, there's no nothing. And you start screwing, because I mean the games he played in last year, I didn't see very many mistakes, and it wasn't like that's the one thing I did like about Lincoln's offense last year was Bob for years kept the starter in 3/4 of the way into the fourth quarter, so we actually got to see some decent time with Murray last year, and I think that's what got everybody all worked up.
For Sam's Heisman year, we saw a lot of Landry. Because I remember they kept saying that his stats weren't as high enough.
Yeah.
But he kept saying that, he's only playing 3/4.
Right. But I mean, what I'm saying. But after that, it was kind of like Bob was like, yeah, I'm not going to have that argument again because they're,
You're playing 5 quarters now.
Yeah. So. Last year, and because you used to, watching it on TV, the announcers would be like, why has he got the starter still in there? And, he'd have the second and third string offensive line out there, but the starter was still out there. So we got a taste of what, Kyler was going to be like, and we didn't really, Kendall backed up Baker 2 years ago. How often did you see him? Other than the fact that he mouthed off about Ohio State and and got them angry with us, you really never really saw him that much until the very end of the game. So, but Rob, they can't hear you when you shake your head, bud.
They should. Both marbles are rolling around.
All right, well, we're going to get off here with this one, and we're going to get just went blank, Jim and Claude on, and we'll do one with them, and then we're going to, we've got Blinken here, and everybody's, wonder if he brought his encyclopedia of madness with him. So, but thank you guys for coming out tonight and enjoying it.
It was a great time.
Rob, were you fixing to say something? Boomer, Rob.
Boomer, Terry.
Boomer, guys.
Boomer.
All right, Sooner fans, thanks for listening to our podcast today with Holzhammer and Tattoo Baker from our first annual Champ U Fan Feast that we had here at the house. Tomorrow's podcast is going to be great. We got Jim Dillingham in the house, all the way from Fort Worth, Texas. Claude Mills came down from Guthrie, Oklahoma. And we have Blinken Riley and his buddy Tom. We'll see you then. Boomer.